They left at the last 1,390x. Most missed it. Don't make the same mistake. Right now, as Bitcoin holds strength and liquidity flows back into risk plays, we're seeing meme coins across Solana, Base, and Hyperliquid bounce insanely hard. Daily runners are exploding, and if you're not watching closely, you're going to miss the next millionaire maker. In this video, I'm breaking down 14 explosive meme setups that could run next, including early stage charts that no one's covering yet. And this is your edge. Stick around till the end. I'll reveal the one setup that looks dangerously close to its breakout. Do me a favor, press that like button, follow me, let's get onto it. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen, with at 1.39 billion market cap. This was the resistance that I charted 2 months ago, and that was the 1,390x that many people got when they bought with at a million market cap. And if you want to catch the next whiff, please stay tuned to this channel because we will catch it. Now, there's some resistance here, and whiff might have some difficulty breaking through this major resistance because this was support all throughout September, August, and July 2024. Once we break this, I think we're going to get that 7x, and the next resistance line is going to be this trend line. Look, major resistance in July, major resistance here in the 18th of October, and then it turned into support in late stage December 2024. So I think the next resistance here will be this point, but in between, I don't see much resistance when it comes to whiff. And after that, I think we're just gonna go straight into 5 billion market cap and break all-time highs. But you need to check whiff because once Fartcoin starts moving, whiff I think now will outperform Fartcoin and many of these other large cap meme coins because it's due its breakout and it's almost breaking out. It just needs to break this 1 billion.39 resistance zone. Once it does, once it breaks through this thing, yeah, it's going to be explosive and it's going to be a signal for all the people that left the trenches in the meme coins to get back in the game. On to the next troll. Told you guys, don't sell here, okay? The place to sell was here once it broke this major support, and then it was all about charting the next bullish fair value gap. I charted it, I gave you guys the perfect entry, and I said if you're down, just hold because it's gonna pump. And so here's what's happening right now. This is where we're at when it comes to troll. It's not pumping, and I think it's gonna go to that 33.58 million market cap zone, which would be, if you were buying here, down here, it would be a good place to, you know, maybe take some profits, so then you can ride the rest of the troll wave and not be too worried about your bags because you've already taken some profits. So that's what I would do. If you've been watching the channel, you know that troll is probably going to do very well long term, and I hope you guys got your entry. And so now let's wait and see what happens in the next few days. On to the next now, Launchcoin. Launchcoin, as predicted, went into the 145 million market cap zone. It wicked there, so if you had limit orders like me, you should have gotten hit. That's what happened when it comes to Launchcoin. I think Launchcoin is ready to sort of like continue. Maybe it does some sort of like V-shaped recovery. That's what I'm expecting at least. And I'm well positioned, and I'm just gonna wait for the ICM meta to come back once Launchcoin is ready and set to go and break new all-time highs. Until then, I think the ICM meta will struggle a little bit. And what we're seeing is a rotation from BTC into large cap memes, and then from large cap memes, it will go into ICM and it will go into mid cap memes. Now on to the next, we have 𝗲𝗏. Look, 𝗲𝗏 is looking incredibly bullish. We basically hit almost 20 million market cap. I would not be surprised. Okay, there's some resistance here. Look, if you look on the 19th of March here, this was support twice, and so I'm not going to be surprised if it encounters some little resistance, but I don't see much resistance there. And so I'm just expecting my 10x trade when it comes to 𝗲𝗏, and then I'll reconsider, as I said previously, as I said yesterday, I'll reconsider if I want to take some profits there or not, but I'm just going to be patient on my 𝗲𝗏s. On to the next, we have Altcoin. This one I called a 200k market cap, and it went to almost 10 million market cap. So we got a 50x here, okay? This was a 50x trade. If you follow me on X, I literally gave everyone a 50x. That's right. If you put $1,000 when I basically announced this trade, you could have gotten almost $50,000 when it comes to this trade right here. Now, if you're looking for an entry, which I am looking for an entry, I'm sidelined right now. I think 3.48 million market cap is a good entry because it was previous resistance before this breakout. It was a previous stop where we were selling. Then it turned into support all throughout the 21st of May. And so I think this 3.48 million market cap zone is where you should leave your limit orders when it comes to Axiom, because I do think there's a high likelihood that it's gonna hit. And if you think about it, like a 60% dip on a meme coin that's brand new, that's doing this well, is more than normal. It's completely obvious. So that's what I think when it comes to Altcoin. So if you're sidelined, join me on Axiom. There's a link down below, and start putting limit orders. I think this is the place to put limit orders when it comes to Altcoin. Then we have useless. Look, useless is another case of why limit orders work. It's still going sideways. You could have like basically traded this thing and gotten yourself like a scalp, a 60% scalp, and then it went back there again, but it's making now higher and higher lows. And so if you looked at the first time I charted useless, you would have known, look, I've changed nothing on this chart. When I charted this, it hadn't even made, I think, all-time highs. And I told you guys to leave limit orders here between 15 and 30. And look, if you left limit orders here, you would have gotten hit and you would have been positioned perfectly to enter this trade. Once this thing probably goes and makes some all-time highs with all these big accounts sort of like shilling it, you'd have been positioned almost to perfection, like many of us are. So this is the reason why you need to use limit orders. But when it comes to useless, I think it's just doing a giant bullish fair value gap accumulation zone. It's just going kind of sideways. There's some redistribution. Liquidity tends to go always to those points where liquidity previous was. So we had a ton of liquidity here, a ton of distribution. And so it's normal that after new all-time highs, it goes back into that same range. Once it breaks, it's basically like almost a guarantee that it's going to be making new all-time highs. On to the next, we have 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 is one of those highly liquid memes that everyone forgets. This is where the real whales are trading. It's on stuff like 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. And it just broke out. Look, it just broke out from resistance and it's going to go to the 155 million market cap zone. Look, it's going to come here and then it's going to go into 256 million. After that, there's no resistance. It's all-time highs. And I think 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 will go to a billion market cap. And why? This is where the real whales play. If you look at liquidity to market cap, it's probably one of the best coins, liquidity to market cap wise, in the entire market. It just has a ton of resistance there until it breaks like 300 million market cap. Once that happens, once you get that 7x from the bottom, which I've been charting for from the bottom, and maybe some of these whales that are trading like $1 million, trading multiple six figures, they will sell a little bit here before all-time highs. Once that happens, that accumulation happens, I think 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 can go extremely high. So yeah, I'm eyeing 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. I think this is one of the best communities, and I think 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 is going to do incredibly well in the coming meme coin super cycle. Then on to the next. This one I charted the other day, and it did hit our bullish fair value gap. Look, it was making all-time highs, and I said, don't FOMO. I always say, don't FOMO buy. It went into the bullish fair value gap, which is between 1.88 and 1.44. If you want to enter this thing called play mind, it's called play, ticker play, I would still leave limit orders at 1.88 because there's a good chance that this thing will retouch here before continuation. So that's what I would do, but I'm looking for all-time highs, and I think close to 6 million, maybe 5 million is a good place to take some profits here, and you can get a 3x. Now continuing, remember yesterday I was talking about Hyperliquid. Look, here we are with 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 is exploding, Hyperliquid will start exploding, and as I said previously, you don't need a Hyperliquid if you don't have a lot of money, if you don't have millions and millions of dollars. All you need is Hyperliquid betas, and that's the meme coins. And so the biggest meme coin on one of the biggest chains, one of the most important ones with the best revenue, is obviously going to do incredibly well going forward. So yeah, I'm not surprised, and yeah, I'm going to get my 8.5x there. It's a very liquid meme. It's a very good meme. It's the biggest meme on one of the biggest chains, and so there's really not much to add other than, as I predicted, I think it's going to go vertical because there's no resistance. Okay, where do you chart resistance here? I don't see any, so I think it's just going to go straight line rocket ship to new all-time highs. Then we have 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. Now this one has been going down quite a lot and it entered reaccumulation. Now it's now sort of like going sideways. This one is like the cat for bonk memes. It's doing quite well. People like 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, they're supporting it, which is good. He has a ton of followers, and I think the bottom is probably in when it comes to 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. Okay, I think the bottom was here. I do think at 17 it's a good buy, and it looks like it's going to do something like a U-shaped type of recovery and then do something like a cup and handle possibly. That's what I'm seeing when it comes to 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, but it's looking quite bullish. So if you want to grab something different that is in its reaccumulation phase, maybe you have to be a little bit patient for the 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 recovery to happen. I think this one is pretty good one, and this is the entry between 23 and 11.26. This is where you have the accumulation range. Once this accumulation range gets broken, yeah, I think we're going to see either U or more of a V-shaped type recovery and then a cup of handle. That's what I'm seeing. Then we have liquid. I'm out. I sold. Maybe I made a mistake here because it's looking so bullish. This one is also on Hyperliquid and it's one of the best looking charts. I've been in this one for quite a while. I do think there's a good possibility that it's going to go and break new all-time highs, especially now with 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 doing so well. I think Hyperliquid season is coming. Like Hyperliquid meme season is here. Even though this isn't a meme coin, I think this is a trading bot. But yeah, this was also a good trade. It wasn't one of those amazing 50x, 20x trades, but it was a good trade. So if you're still on this, honestly, I think 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 is better. And I think there's other memes that I'm going to show you guys tomorrow and other days when it comes to Hyperliquid. Now on to the next Upster. This one is like the 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 but of abstract chain. And so I'm going to sell at 50 million market cap because 50 million market cap is one of those round numbers where you always have resistance regardless of what happens. And it's just on its way there slowly and slowly and slowly. And I don't see any reason to sell anywhere other than there, to be completely honest. Big chain, big L1, the big meme on the big chain should go to 50 million. They all do. So it's just a logical, basic reasoning to me. If all the other chains had big memes that went to 50 million market cap, why is like $1 billion chain like Upstart not going to have one that's also going to go to 50 million market cap? That's literally all my reasoning behind buying this meme. And trust me, a lot of times the simple stuff works the best. On to the next, we have 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 is looking quite nice. Sadly, this is one of those cases where my limit orders didn't get hit. Look, it actually retraced to 7.24, but it didn't retrace to my entry. I was being too bearish. 5.6, 4.64. It didn't actually enter this zone. And so I think I'm going to have to buy 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. I'm looking at 9.33 because look, this was previous resistance on the 14th of May. It was also resistance on the 17th of May. And then it was also resistance all throughout the 20th and the 21. And so I think this is a good place to buy Labubu. There's also this 13.13 million market cap level. This could be good for like a bounce, you know, bounce scalp. But I'm not looking to scalp this. I'm looking to buy and maybe hold for a little bit longer because clearly there's demand for this meme coin and it's one of the best performers in the last week. So let's see. And also very important, look at Labubu. Wave 1, wave 2, and now wave 3. To me, this is the clear top. I wouldn't be buying this here, okay? We had our 5-wave expansion, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now we're gonna have our A, B, C. And I think C goes 9 million, maybe a little bit below. Let's see what happens in the next couple of days. Now on base, we have one of the best ones, 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 basically gave us the signal to enter because it had this previous explosion. I told you guys not to buy here, 80 million. And now it's at this major support line, which is the most important line for 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. This is where you have the bullish fair value gap. Previous resistance in April 2024, resistance 1 times, 2 times, 3 times, January, December, November. Look, this place where 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 is right now, okay, 61 million market cap, this line, this bullish fair value gap, this is where you have all the liquidity trapped. This is the most important level. The price is literally at that level right now. So if you want to buy 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, chart-wise, TA-wise, look, this is the place to buy. It just exploded through it, giving us confirmation that it wants to go higher, and then it retraced back to the place where you want to basically hold. There's also this trend line you need to pay attention to, and I think we can see the price sort of like go up a little bit over this trend line, but I think if it accumulates here, it's going to accumulate higher and make higher and higher and higher and higher lows. But I'm bullish 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 as one of the best meme coins on base. Also very liquid. Look, 5 million in the LP. A lot of these memes on Solana, they have no liquidity. Memes on base have a little bit better liquidity, and yeah, I think that if you want to enter a trade with size, I think 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 is a good one. So you need to be paying attention to these meme coins on base as well. Now, my friends, if you're still here, you now have 40 meme setups most traders haven't even looked at, and some of these could absolutely explode. We are entering what might be the most aggressive meme coin super cycle in history, and catching just one of these plays early could change everything for your portfolio. Don't sit on the sidelines while the next 1390x unfolds. If you want to trade like a pro and actually catch these runners, make sure you're using Axiom. It's literally the only platform built for sniper execution and also wallet-based edge. And remember, my private trading group is coming soon. Only those trading on Axiom through my link will get access. It's going to be free and it will be capped, so act now. See you in the next show. Stay sharp. I'm going to be giving you guys a ton more alpha, and there's a special show coming tomorrow and also a special Sunday show. See you guys.